Inspired by Rafaela Almeida's teachings on female empowerment and personal transformation, do you know what it's like to look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back at you? Not because you've changed physically, but because somewhere along the way you lost connection with who you really are. And here's the problem. It's not like you woke up one day without self-esteem. It's that day after day, decision after decision, you gave it away. But here's the truth nobody tells you. If you lost it through decisions, you can also recover it through decisions. And today, right now, you're going to face the 5 most powerful decisions that will define whether you keep being a woman who apologizes for existing or become a woman who celebrates her existence. Because Rafaela Almeida says it clearly, your self-esteem isn't something you have or don't have. It's something you build or destroy every day with the decisions you make. And she's right. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, every time you compare yourself to another woman instead of celebrating your own light, every time you apologize for taking up space, you're making a decision. The question is, what kind of decision are you making? Decision number 1, stop apologizing for being who you are. Tell me something. How many times today did you apologize for things that didn't require an apology? Sorry to bother you. Sorry for asking. Sorry for existing. And you don't even realize it. But every time you do this, you're telling the world, my presence is an inconvenience. Rafaela lived this firsthand. For years, she apologized for having opinions, for taking up space, for being too much of something. Until one day she realized she wasn't apologizing for mistakes. She was apologizing for being a woman in a world that had convinced her she should take up less space. But here's the reality. You weren't born to take up less space. You were born to take up your space, and your space is non-negotiable. The decision you need to make today is this. Stop apologizing for existing and start being grateful for being alive. Instead of sorry to bother you, try thank you for your time. Instead of sorry for asking, try I have a question. Instead of sorry for being here, try I'm glad to be here. You know what happens when you stop apologizing for being who you are? The world starts seeing you differently because you start seeing yourself differently. Decision thus 2. Choose your own definition of success. Second decision, and this one hurts. Stop living according to other people's expectations and start living according to your own definitions of what a successful life looks like. Do you know how many women I know who are living the life that others designed for them? Who studied what their parents wanted, who got married when society told them it was time, who had children because it was what you do, who chose safe jobs instead of jobs that excited them. And then they wonder why they feel empty, why they feel like imposters in their own lives. Rafaela Almeida says something that marked me. You can't have self-esteem living a life you didn't choose. Because every day you live according to others' standards, every day you move further away from yourself. So ask yourself, what do you want? Not what your mother wants, not what your partner expects, not what society says. What do you want? Do you want to get married or not? Do you want to have children or not? Do you want that corporate job? Or do you want to start your own business? Do you want to live in that city or do you want to travel the world? Do you want a traditional relationship or do you want to redefine what it means to love? There are no right or wrong answers. There's only your answer, and your answer is the only one that matters. But here comes the hard part. Choosing your own definition of success means you're going to disappoint some people. And that's okay. Because it's better to disappoint others by being authentic than to disappoint yourself by being fake. Decision number 3, protect your energy like it's gold. Third decision, and this is the one we women struggle with the most, learning to say no without unnecessary explanations. Why is it so hard for us? Because we were taught that our value lies in serving others, that being a good woman means being available to everyone all the time. That saying no makes us selfish. But let me tell you something. You're not selfish for protecting your energy. You're smart. Rafaela explains it perfectly. Your energy is your most valuable resource. And like any valuable resource, you have to be selective about where and with whom you invest it. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're saying no to something you do want to do. Every time you give your time to people who don't value it, you're taking it away from people who would. Every time you overextend yourself to please others, you're denying yourself the opportunity to please yourself. And here's the key. You don't need to give extensive explanations to justify a no. I can't is a complete sentence. I'm not interested is a valid response. I don't feel like it is reason enough. You know what happens when you start protecting your energy? Your energy becomes more powerful because you're investing it in the right things and people. If this message is resonating with you, hit like and subscribe. We're building a community of women who don't apologize for shining. Decision number 4, change competition to collaboration. Fourth decision, and this is the one that can completely transform how you relate to other women. Stop seeing every woman as competition and start seeing them as allies. Do you know why we have this comparison with other women so ingrained? Because we were raised in a system that tells us there's only room for one, that if another woman shines, we dim, that if another woman succeeds, there's less success available for us. But that's a lie designed to keep us divided and weak. Rafaela Almeida says it clearly. When one woman empowers herself, she doesn't take power away from another woman. She shows her what's possible. You know what happens when you stop comparing and start collaborating? You discover there's room for everyone, that another woman's success doesn't threaten your success, that you can celebrate her achievements without feeling like you're diminishing your own. Instead of thinking, why her and not me? Start thinking, if she could do it, I can too. Instead of criticizing the woman who's doing what you want to do, approach her and ask how she did it. Instead of feeling envy, feel inspiration. Because here's the truth. The most successful women, the women with the highest self-esteem, are those who understand that lifting other women doesn't bring them down. It elevates everyone. Decision number 5. Honor your cycle and your feminine nature. And we arrive at the 5th decision, the most revolutionary of all. Stop fighting against your feminine nature and start honoring it. For too long, we were told that to succeed, we had to act like men, that we had to be strong all the time, that we couldn't show emotions, that we had to always be on, always productive, always available. But you know what? That's a recipe for burnout, for disconnection, for completely losing connection with who you really are. Rafaela Almeida talks a lot about this. Your feminine power isn't in imitating masculine power, it's in honoring your own cyclical nature, your sensitivity, your intuition, your capacity to create and nurture. What does this mean in practical terms? It means recognizing that you won't have the same energy every day, and that's okay. It means understanding that your menstrual cycle affects your mood and productivity, and working with that instead of against it. It means valuing your intuition as much as you value your logic. It means allowing yourself to be vulnerable because vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage. It means stopping apologizing for feeling deeply, for needing time to process, for wanting to create meaningful connections instead of just networking. Your sensitivity isn't your weakness, it's your superpower. Your capacity for empathy doesn't make you weak, it makes you powerful. Your need for rest and recovery isn't laziness, it's wisdom. The moment of truth. Now comes the moment of truth. I've shared these 5 decisions with you, but sharing information doesn't change lives. What changes lives are the decisions you make after receiving the information. Are you going to keep apologizing for existing? Or are you going to start celebrating your presence in this world? Are you going to keep living according to others' expectations? Or are you going to create your own definition of success? Are you going to keep giving your energy to anyone who asks for it? Or are you going to protect it like the gold it is? Are you going to keep seeing other women as competition? Or are you going to start building a support network that elevates you? Are you going to keep fighting against your feminine nature? Or are you going to honor it as the source of power it really is? Because here's the reality. You're going to have to make each of these decisions over and over again. It's not something you decide once and that's it. It's something you're going to have to choose every day. in every situation, with every interaction. There will be days when you'll go back to apologizing for things that don't require apologies. There will be moments when you'll feel the pressure to live according to others' expectations. There will be situations where you'll want to say yes when you know you should say no. There will be occasions when you'll feel envy toward another woman instead of inspiration. And that's okay, because building self-esteem isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a path you choose to walk every day. But here's what changes. Everything. When you start making these decisions consciously, when you start choosing your own voice over external voices, something transforms in you. You start walking differently. You start talking differently. You start seeing yourself differently in the mirror. Not because you've changed physically, but because you've reconnected with who you really are, underneath all the layers of expectations, comparisons, and apologies. Rafaela Almeida says something beautiful. The woman with self-esteem isn't the one who never doubts. She's the one who doubts, but acts anyway. She's the one who feels fear, but doesn't let fear make decisions for her. That woman can be you. Not tomorrow. Not when everything is perfect. Not when you have more time, more money, more experience. Now. With the tools you have, in the place where you are, with the challenges you face. Because your self-esteem doesn't depend on your external circumstances. It depends on the internal decisions you make every day. And today, right now, you have the opportunity to make a different decision. A decision that brings you closer to the woman you want to be, instead of further away from her. What's going to be your first decision? Which of these 5 are you going to start with? Because you don't have to change everything at once. You have to change one thing at a time. But you have to start. Your life is waiting for you. The woman you can become is waiting for you. And she doesn't need your perfection. She only needs your decision. Are you ready to make it? You choose.